July 4, 2019. This is issue 974 coming through the Omega Communications portal today. And it's a portal which allows the transmission of energy and information coming directly to you and for you to immerse yourself into a higher state of consciousness. And in that way, you are more likely to see beings from other galaxies and to merge with the higher levels of yourself for your purpose, for being here, and many other things that will become apparent to you. So again, I ask you to open your mind, relax your body, and allow your attention to be in your body of light, focus here and present within the receiving area in the station of light. Come in for refreshment. Come in for understanding. Come in for more realization of your connection with the higher dimensional beings. Come in with your intention to receive. Even though it may not be presented to you in a way that you would expect, you will draw to you the appropriate energy and information. Greetings to you, or I'm addressing you. It is a very simple pathway that you follow to be here. It is a simple process. The process is simply you allowing yourself consciously to connect to the higher levels of your own aspect of creation. Collectively, the aspects of creation that you are on Earth in the present experience is to absorb the greater light spectrum which you are receiving, and in that way you are clearing the pattern of your particular aspect of life and other aspects of life, and therefore that allows a greater amount of the light spectrum to come into Earth. In turn, Earth responds to this, increasing its own pattern of light, and there is an exchange of information relative to movement and to an alignment to a greater depth of energy system. As you know, star systems change, patterns change, orbits change, dimensional energy systems change or appear to come into alignment to facilitate pathways, portals, openings, gateways. Terms which you are familiar with and which you know will allow energy to come in many different ways for you. In this phase where you are receiving this, there is an aspect in your energy form here which is being aligned to a particular pattern, coded frequencies, and you are absorbing this. You drew it to you in this state. Therefore, it is what is appropriate for you at this time. Singly, individually, you will be taking the opportunity to be presenting yourself into a new value, a new establishment, a new correlation of certain intentions and patterns, And these will appear to you as different dwelling existences and realities. These all coexist in creation. When you correctly interpret the light spectrum you are receiving, you then are drawn, because you resonate with a new pattern of light and existence. This will also be reflected in your daily circumstances. Your daily circumstances will also be resonating with a higher level of existence. The experience of this will continue to manifest in you and around you. Already you are finding more information is coming forward to you, which validates some of the concepts and thoughts you have. It also validates some of the impulses you have to make certain changes or to investigate a certain pattern of thought. However you consider your life to be is always enhanced as you directly, intentionally connect with that light spectrum, which is part of your higher level of existence. It continues to flow from that highest point of origin from which you came forth into the earth plane. And that highest point of origin is automatically within the altered light spectrum as it comes through creation from the one source. As you know, individual experiences then manifest from that, and all of creation is part of this greater manifestation. In that way, you have manifested galactic beings to come forward to connect with you in this phase. And as the energy system rises throughout you and around you, then you become more familiar with observing and sensing in some way the beings with whom you resonate. And you take part in, we would say to you, a massive shift, a great shifting in focus and in the dimensions of light. This is spoken about in many different ways, and the many different ways are because of the different interpretations depending on the level of the light spectrum or the level of consciousness in the dimensional fields of consciousness where the person or the being is focused. This gives rise to the difference in the interpretation of what the shift is. We would say to you to maintain your strong attention and connection to your point of origin. Momentarily experience this as you become filled with that pattern of light brought to you directly into your own sphere of existence, your personal energy sphere which surrounds your physicality, and it encompasses it in a wide area because you are more than that physical unit, that you might perceive yourself as the body that sphere of energy system in which you now realize you are within moves, transporting you into a different time for you to experience. And this time experience in the dimension you've been drawn to is also parallel to the description given of the crystalline light cities. So you will be observing different patterns in the atmosphere around this space you've been drawn into, different perception of the light rays giving rise to different colour perception. In much of what you observe, in the beings, in the plants, in the creatures around you, they have a different texture, a different vibration, because you are seeing into the vibration of everything around what you are presently experiencing, and therefore the colour changes. Observe yourself as the being present where you have been drawn into, and you will observe your body system has a different hue to it, a different colour tint. And this is because you are viewing it through a different pattern of sensing through your vision. Experiencing this also brings you into the communication network which exists in this space, where you are aware of patterns, of movements, of indications. In this space you have heightened and expanded perception. And we give you this opportunity to draw this back into you now, into your body of light, focused here in the station of light. Did you realize in that space there was a sense of uniformity, of conformity, of agreement, of uplifting the whole pattern of existence there? This is part of what you are bringing back into you. And this also has the added value for you to smooth out patterns in your emotional system. Many of the emotional systems around the population around you are going through alternate realities and changes. And so there can be a fluctuation in the energy field or in the attitude or mood systems experienced through that emotional pattern. What you're bringing forward into you now is a clearance and balancing. This will have an impact. It will affect your well-being. Ultimately, the intention you've always had is to be in extreme happiness, of joy, enlightened. And in this state you have been receiving that enlightenment into you in every way. As you absorb and integrate all of this into all facets of your physicality, then you are more prepared to observe the movements and the changes occurring in the earth plane dimension as it is, as the energies raise and the connection is stronger to the systems that you have been experiencing in this session and other sessions. It is working to bring all of your pattern into the holistic energy system of creation. All of the energy matrix that it is, working throughout you. And thus you are enhanced again in this session. I withdraw now, Aurum out. Thank you, Aurum. This is Laini again. And I'm sensing that he actually left us within that great area where we mix with the Council of Light and a multitude of intergalactic beings showing themselves to you in this state, preparing you for what you will be observing more around you in your daily pattern. So gather this all into you as if you are gathering up your notes or your special devices that record, and bring this back into your energy pattern now. And we are moving in a different pattern to leave the station today. You will be aware that you are being transported in a transportation sphere down to earth. And as it comes down to earth, there are many openings and many people move out in different directions. As you are drawn back to your physical body, where it is stationed, be aware that you are bringing a different level of light spectrum back with you. Being transported back in this vehicle enables a greater amount of this energy to come back with you. And that seems to be the main purpose of that. You'll be aware that that transportation vehicle has disappeared out of our dimension. And you'll be aware of moving back to your body. Love this body that you have. Infuse it with the light spectrum in every way, into every area which you may wish to change, any area which has discomfort. Infuse it with the higher light spectrum. And then you naturally merge with all systems of your physical body. This has been a wonderful experience today, and I trust you are aware of that as well, and of receiving many different codes or patterns, more than that which was described in the words. So I'm ending this transmission now through the Omega Communications portal. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Aurum, and the Council of Light, and all of the beings who are working with us. We appreciate the assistance and information. That's all for this session. through omegacommunications.co.nz.